Hello everyone and welcome back to more Georgia Tech Dynasty. The Ramblin' Wreck has rumbled to 5 straight wins after starting the season 0-3, punctuated by a dominant offensive display against Notre Dame. And as ACC play resumes in Week 9, we will face our rivals in Blacksburg, the Virginia Tech Hokies, who have not yet won a game in conference play. If you're going off past performance, at least in the last 5 games, we should be the heavy favorites in this one. We boast the number 4 offense in the conference with over 2,000 yards in the air and over 800 on the ground. Haynes King comes off his best performance of the season, racking up 6 total touchdowns against the Irish. And he is having one of the more productive quarterback seasons Georgia Tech has ever seen. That's been largely thanks to senior receiver Christian Leary, who we have leaned on time and time again. He's got 735 receiving yards and is tied for the team lead in touchdowns with 6. Leary and Eric Singleton were absolutely instrumental to our win over Notre Dame. My goal is to emphasize the run game a little more than we have, though, with such a talented running back in Jamal Haynes. Currently not quite on track for 1,000 yards, but the 5.9 yards per carry is spectacular. We knew this team had talent at the skill positions, but the real surprise has been our defense. It definitely hasn't been perfect, as we have allowed the most yards in the conference. That's inflated by the number of games we played. We had a week 0 game. But we do have a conference high 30 sacks, and those sacks have ended a lot of opposing drives. Half of those sacks belong to our absolute stud of a pass rusher, Romello Height, who came back to his home state from USC and has had the best season of his career. I believe he's leading the country in sacks. He's a defensive Heisman candidate, and he's definitely playing himself into the NFL draft conversation. As we continue our winning streak, we keep running into teams who are on losing streaks. Virginia Tech is no different, as they have lost 4 straight after winning their first 3. All 4 of those losses, though, have come against teams that are currently ranked. The Hokies certainly have some talent, and it starts with junior quarterback Kyron Drones. He's having an even better year statistically than Haynes King. Drones is a threat with his legs too, but thankfully we won't have to deal with a 2-headed monster in the backfield, as their star running back Byshul Tootin is out with a torn labrum. We will have to worry about a talented group of receivers led by Stephen Gosnell, who has 9 touchdowns. And I'm assuming he's the slot receiver because there's 3 guys that are higher rated than Gosnell, highlighted by 87 overall Ali Jennings. On the defensive side, this team can generate some pressure with a power-speed combo of Antoine Powell-Ryland off the edge and Aeneas Peebles up the middle. And to top it off, they've got one of the best cornerback duos in the conference with Dorian Strong and Masur Delane. This team clearly is not a cupcake. I think their 4-game losing streak is deceiving. They will be hungry, and it's always tough to keep your composure when Enter Sandman is blaring through the speakers. We can pretend that's Enter Sandman. I guess EA had some licensing issues. John Love will boot it away for the Hokies, and the Tecmo Bowl is underway. Georgia Tech receiving first, as Christian Leary cuts to the outside and makes it to the 22. There have been some fun moments in this rivalry. Virginia Tech leads the all-time series 11-8, but we won the last one in a nail-biter. 1st and 10, Jamal Haynes will start with the ball, and he meets Aeneas Peebles in the backfield. 2nd down, Malik Rutherford, jet sweep. That's our bread and butter play. 1st down yardage and more, as Peebles is already down and needs to exit. Going with the tunnel screen now, Christian Leary makes the catch and doesn't get too many yards. Gain of 2. 3rd and 8 now, King will drop back. Good coverage downfield, he has to check down, and Leary couldn't hold on. That's the end of our first drive. First look at Kyron Drones, and he will hand it off to the backup running back, Malachi Thomas. Gain of 5. A split backs look now for the Hokies. Drones will drop back. Pass is caught. Excellent route by Ali Jennings, coming back for it and then getting some yards after the catch. First down, Drones checks down to his tight end, Benji Gosnell, and a great open field tackle by Trey Tatum. 2nd and 11. They run the ball up the middle. Thomas gets there. A generous spot for the first down. Very well blocked from the Hokies. Now Thomas is stuffed by Warren Burrell, and a holding penalty on the Hokies is going to push them back even further. 2nd and 17. Drones feeds Thomas once again, who gets all the way to the edge, tackled out of bounds, and there's another holding penalty called. 3rd and 24. There is the pass rush. Sylvain Yanjuin gets to him and ends the drive. 4th and 30. As Peter Moore sends a booming kick to Christian Leary, who has plenty of space to take that back up to the 29. Haynes King hands it off to the other Haynes. Not able to break free, only gaining 2. We go speed option on the next play, and the pitch is off the mark. Haynes chases it down, picks it up, and saves what could have been a disastrous play. Options can be risky to run in this game. We just saw it there. 3rd and 16, pressure on King, and he's brought down. Kelvin Gilliam was the first to get there. Malachi Thomas stopped behind the line. Kyle Eford with a great play. 2nd and 12. Pass caught underneath, and Jalen Lane takes it down the sideline and up past the markers. 2 minutes to go in the first. Bubble screen. Caught by Steven Gosnell for a short gain. 2nd and 7 at the Georgia Tech 39. Thomas chased down by Yanjuin. 3rd and medium, and we are dialing up some pressure. Drones takes the snap. We nearly get to him, and the pass broken up. And that forces John Love on for a 55-yard field goal, and he knocks it through. Hokies are on the board first. We'll see how this offense can respond. It's another handoff to Jamal Haynes, who gets a little bit more there. That is 6. RPO on 2nd down. Screen pass out to the right. Chase Lane. 1st down. Final play of the first here. King will keep it, and he will be stopped. Hokies had both reads covered on the read option. As we are through one, and our offense has looked much less explosive than we did against Notre Dame. Can we get back on track? King will dump it down to his running back in the left flat, and Jamal Haynes gains 6. Too high safety look for the Hokies, and the cornerbacks pressing. King backs up, finds his man crossing over the field. It's Rutherford. Gave him just enough time to get open. Now on 1st down, Jamal Haynes will swing out to the left. He will receive it and cut back inside for a gain of 4. At the Virginia Tech 37, Trey Cooley getting some action now. Nothing much there, gain of 1 on the stretch. 3rd down, Hokies back out of a pressure look, and King leads his tight end out of bounds. Offense stays out there for 4th and 3. He will send Leary in motion to the left. Can he outrun the defender? He can, making a man miss. And Leary moves the chains. But he's a little bit shaken up after that one. King, shotgun snap. He keeps, and he takes off. Gain of 9 yards on the triple option. Now a bunch to the wide right on 3rd and 1. It goes into the belly of Haynes, and a clear path to the 10-yard line. The throwing windows get tighter here in the red zone. King gets it to the flat, and Jamal Haynes takes it up to the 6-yard line. Pistol look. King hands off to Trey Cooley, and the Hokie defense flies to the football. 3rd and 5 at the 5. It is a play-action pass, and King barely gets it away. Virginia Tech sent a heavy blitz. Aiden Burr comes on for the chip shot. It's at a steep angle, and it's wide to the left. He didn't push it quite enough to the right. That's now the second time this season that's happened, and we stay scoreless. Not an ideal start here on the road in Blacksburg. Drones completes to his tight end for a short gain. Now Drones fakes to Thomas, fires, and it's caught. Jalen Lane turns upfield, and a big gain. Amari Harvey was in coverage there, tried to jump the pass and it backfired. That's the tight end, Nick Gallo, on the short reception. 3rd down and 4. Drones to the right side. Gallo stops short. Great play by Kari G, forcing another long field goal. This one's 56 yards. John Love, it's on target, and it has the power. 2 long field goals good for John Love. And Virginia Tech is up 6-0. And their defense was ready for the outside run. 3rd and very long. After the 2-minute timeout, King takes the snap, pressure off the right side, and it affects the throw. Antoine Powell-Ryland. And we have to give the ball right back to the Hokies. Here's Drones to the numbers. What a route by Ali Jennings, and what a throw from Drones. 1:20 to go in the half. Drones launches down the sideline, and it's caught. Jalen Lane scores the first touchdown of the day for either team on an absolute beauty from Kyron Drones. Not a whole lot has gone right for us so far. 13-0 Virginia Tech. This is our worst start to a game since Syracuse. Here's Christian Leary getting to the sideline on the option pitch. 1st down. Trying to score before we go to the locker rooms. Pass complete over the middle to Brett Seither. You'd love to see him get more involved. Here's Leary underneath. Tackled short of the markers. Timeout. We have 2 left. King running the speed option. Pitch to Haynes. Haynes showing the speed down the left sideline, and he's pushed out at the 5. And that's our first explosive play of the game. 30 seconds to go. King scrambling right. No receivers in the area, but it doesn't matter. King runs it in. And finally, we've got some momentum here in Blacksburg. That will bring us to halftime as we still trail by 6. It's been largely a defensive battle, but the Hokies just got off a couple more big plays than we did. Time for a quick recruiting update, as we have a couple more visits scheduled. Carl Anger will be attending the Week 10 bye week. He's an athlete that projects to be an interior offensive lineman. And another player who will be coming that same week, 4-star linebacker Sammy Kirkland. We should have his hard sell figured out by then. And we have figured out the hard sell for cornerback Paul Pinckney. We already got the 5-star Evan Haslam, but why not add to our cornerback depth? All of our major targets have us 1st overall so far. And that includes 5-star defensive tackle Isaac Prochet, 4-star defensive tackle Ezekiel Hitchcock, and 4-star physical receiver Sean Zeese. Even Patrick Arianes, a player that we started recruiting a little bit later in the season, has us 1st as well. He's in his top 8 stage right now, so a lot of recruiting left to be done on him. But we now have enough hours to send the house. But overall, Calvin Johnson's off to a fantastic start on the recruiting trail. We have 5 commits so far, 2 5-stars, 3 4-stars. And with the amount of seniors leaving in the offseason, I could see this being a team who gets a lot of production from true freshmen next season. Second half action underway as Kyron Drones will lead the Hokies offense to start this 3rd. Jalen Lane makes the grab on the quick out, gaining 8. Tight end motioning inside and lead blocking for the running back. Malachi Thomas moves the chains. He's got 20 yards. Drones downfield and nearly intercepted by Kyle Eford. He wanted Ali Jennings on that one. We bring pressure on 2nd down and Drones delivers to Steven Gosnell. 2nd catch of the day. 1st down, the give to Drones, and he's dumped by Romello Height. There he is. He hasn't made a ton of impact in this game yet. Drones fires one up the sideline, broken up by Saeed Gibbs. And that forces a Virginia Tech punt. King on the keeper. And the read option finally works. King gains 7. 2nd down and 3. Speed option again. King pitches. Haynes gets the 1st down, but not much more. On 2nd and 10, Haynes King completes to Christian Leary on the shallow crosser. He cuts up for a gain of 5. 3rd and 5. Wide open is Brett Seither. The mesh concept works to perfection. King's completion percentage is pretty good so far. Now he's going deep. Leary can't bring it in. Excellent coverage from Dorian Strong. That brings up 3rd down, and the pressure too fast. Can't set up the halfback screen. And we're going to have to punt this away again. David Shanahan. Oh, incredible kick. That one bounced on the 1-inch line and stayed in play. 1st down at the 7 for Drones, who completes it short to Malachi Thomas, his 3rd catch. 2nd down, it's Thomas, and flying in there is Omar Daniels, getting his hands dirty in the run game. 3rd down, they fake the draw. Pressure on Drones, and the pass batted down. No sacks yet for Romello Height, but that was a major quarterback hit. 4th and 6, they punt it to Christian Leary. Excellent cut upfield, finding green grass, and he is in Virginia Tech territory. 1st down, RPO bubble screen. Doesn't go anywhere. Eric Singleton with the grab. 3rd and 10. Pressure up the middle on King. Incomplete, and that brings out Aiden Burr. Long field goal, 55 yards, and it is wide to the right. Not sure it had the power either. We stay scoreless in the 2nd half, and scoreless in this game outside of that 2-minute drill. Drones keeps it, gains 6. Feels like we need a stop here. We're bringing safety pressure, and a panic throw batted down. Saeed Gibbs with his 2nd deflection of the day. And the ball goes right back to us. And they are all over Jamal Haynes. Aeneas Peebles on the stop. 3rd and 14. This game's been a defensive grinder. King hangs in there and completes over the middle to Christian Leary. Clutch throw there. 2nd down for Haynes, and can't even get back to the line. Kelvin Gilliam. 3rd down. The corner route. Seither caught it, but he dropped it. Dangerous play. The safety dove for his knees while he was in the air. Thankfully, he's still healthy. But another drive stalls out. 4th quarter. 2nd down for the Hokies. Thomas finds a crease. He's up past the 50. We've bottled him up for the most part until then. 1st down, jet sweep. Ali Jennings. Stopped after gaining 3. Empty set for Drones. It's another jet sweep. This time, Malachi Thomas pinballing and nearly got the 1st down with some heroics. We got to tackle better than that. 3rd and inches. And the backup running back gets the 1st down. Jeremiah Coney. 7:40. Kelvin Drones standing in the pocket. Completes to Ali Jennings, who shrugs a man off, and there's no one in front of him. Touchdown Virginia Tech, and they double their lead. And this is a nasty route by Ali Jennings. A double move, turned back to the quarterback. Drones delivers it on time, and then just flattens Saeed Gibbs with a stiff arm. They go for 2, and Drones is sacked by Romello Height. Unfortunately, that will not count towards his total. 7:33 to go. We're working with a 12-point deficit. Here's King on the run, delivering to Eric Singleton. Nice play as he takes it up to the 49. Haynes motioning right. King takes the snap, delivers over the seam, and it is off target for Brett Seither. That's a bad miss from King. 3rd and 10. King goes long. Christian Leary beats Dorian Strong. And another big play touchdown from King to Leary. This game ain't over. 5-point lead for the Hokies and Kyron Drones as he hands off to Malachi Thomas for a productive first down carry. He's up to 50 yards. One high safety. They hand off to Malachi Thomas. Stopped by Eford. Big tackle to set up a 3rd and 1. Drones motions his tight end into an H-back position. They'll run the option, and Drones fools the defense. Easy first down pickup. 5 minutes to go. Drones running some clock. Hand off to Thomas. Stopped by a wall of Yellow Jackets after a gain of 4. Drones, quick trigger pass, caught by Gallo. Short of the markers. 3rd down, we send a blitz, and we stop Thomas behind the line of scrimmage. The free safety, Clayton Powell-Lee, sniffed it out. And we're going to get the ball back here with just over 3 minutes to go. Christian Leary with another nice return gets it up to the 32. The 5-game winning streak on the line here. We're going to have to come back on the road against our rival if we want to keep it alive. Jamal Haynes gets it up the middle, gaining 3. 2:30 to go. Seither motioning left, setting up the screen to the right for Haynes. He gains a few, but not enough for the first down. 3rd down and 2. Triple option. King pitches, Leary receives, and he cuts it up. First down. 1:42 to go. We've got all 3 timeouts. King in the pocket. He's got time. Now he'll scramble right. He wants Singleton, but it's broken up by Mansour Delane. 2nd down. King fires deep middle, out of reach for Christian Leary. 2 missed opportunities set up a 3rd and 10. King's pass is caught by Leary, and he is dragged down 3 yards short. Gotta have your best play call ready. 1 minute to go. King takes the snap, and he hooks up with Haynes on the Texas route. Big completion for a first down. 56 to go. King down the right sideline. Singleton nearly came down with it, but it falls to the turf. 2nd down. King has an open man in the middle, and he overthrew him. Avery Boyd would have set us up in the red zone, but King couldn't put it on him. 3rd down, another overthrow. Jamal Haynes was wide open. You gotta be kidding me. King had time to throw. He did have late pressure, but that shouldn't be enough to affect a throw that much. Bad misses and a 4th and 10, game on the line. This one is on the money. Malik Rutherford makes the grab. He finds the soft spot in the zone, up the seam. Rutherford makes another big play for these Yellow Jackets. A touchdown will take the lead. King wants it all. It's batted and picked off. No! Right after the 4th down clutch completion, Haynes King throws it all away. You can't always get it all in one play. We had 2 timeouts left. Rutherford was open if you lead him to the outside. Jamal Haynes was open for the check down, but instead, King throws into triple coverage, and that's the game. Our win streak comes to an end at 5, and Virginia Tech gets their first win of conference play, as Georgia Tech comes up short in the Tecmo Bowl. In all honesty, we did not deserve to win this game. Kyron Drones did. He was great today. He showcased the scrambling ability, completed 79% of his passes, and made multiple NFL-caliber throws. And the explosive offense that we saw against Notre Dame was nowhere to be found today. As good as Kyron Drones looked, our defense played pretty well, holding them to just 19 points, bottling up Malachi Thomas and the rushing attack. I don't have many complaints about the defense, but the offense was just not on the same page, and they seemed kind of rattled by the hostile environment of Virginia Tech. I don't like that we rely so much on those deep pass touchdowns. We struggle to score on slow, methodical drives. It makes you wonder what this team's going to look like once Christian Leary's gone. We only got into the red zone a few times today, the first time being a missed field goal from Aiden Burr. Then we had that big run from Haynes on the triple option that set us up, and then Haynes King would punch it in with a scramble. Then we scored from outside the red zone on the deep pass to Leary, and then we made it to the red zone on that final fourth quarter drive, and guess what? The very first play in the red zone, we throw an interception. That cannot be happening consistently. As we look elsewhere in the country, we'll start with an exciting rivalry game between Syracuse and Pittsburgh. Both teams are 5-1, both have hopes to win the conference. And Kyle McCord, with his team down 2, will give it to his receiver Umari Hatcher, who outruns the entire Pitt defense for the score. That Syracuse receiving core is legit. They killed us earlier in the season. But Pitt wasn't done yet. Freshman quarterback Eli Holstein will scramble out to the right and take it all the way, diving in for the lead. What an incredible gutsy run by Holstein. These two teams go back and forth in the final minutes. Syracuse has a last gasp here with no time remaining. Hail Mary from McCord falls to the turf. Pitt survives at home. And Eli Holstein was the hero today. The redshirt freshman goes for 2 touchdowns in the air, 1 on the ground, 92 rushing yards. Here is the full ACC scoreboard from the week. Florida State and Miami also played an exciting game. Miami taking their first loss of the year, dropping from number 2 to number 11. This one was close all the way through. And the FSU-Miami rivalry is alive and well. Good news and bad news for the Seminoles as Roydell Williams scored twice, but he also gets injured. Over in the Big 12, we have a top 13 matchup between Kansas and Kansas State. Who saw that coming? Kansas is actually ranked higher, as Avery Johnson will throw an interception in his own territory. DJ Burrows makes the big defensive play, setting up a last-second field goal from Owen Piper-Gerdes. It's good, and Kansas gets the win on the road. These are 2 quality teams. Kansas looking like a playoff contender with how they're playing on the back of Devin Neal, who went for $114. Avery Johnson of Kansas State, usually one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, but it was not his day today. No touchdowns, 3 picks. LSU and Texas A&M always seem to have exciting finishes. LSU holds on, surviving a 21-point surge from the Aggies in the fourth quarter. Garrett Nussmeier was on fire today, going for nearly 400 and 4 scores, 2 of which went to Xavion Thomas. And he outduels Connor Wegman, who had a very nice game of his own right. Oklahoma State was tested on the road in Waco, but they survive this tough battle with Baylor thanks to Ollie Gordon's 165 yards. Penn State and Wisconsin also played a tight one, and the Nittany Lions preserve their top 10 ranking with a road win. Very, very good game from Drew Aller. It's also going to be interesting to keep an eye on who might be the group of 5 bid for the college football playoff, and Rice is one of the biggest contenders. They're ranked top 25 with this win over UConn. They remain undefeated, and Dean Connors, a receiving back, is their best player. Rutgers and USC also squared off in a top 11 battle, and USC dominated, not allowing a point until the fourth quarter and possessing the ball for 70% of the game. Here is what the rankings look like after week 9. We had a fighting chance at the top 25 if we won today, but we did not. Instead, Florida State takes the 25th spot and is joined by 5 other ACC teams. No one in the top 10 though. Ohio State, Tennessee, and Oregon make up the top 3, despite Oregon having 2 losses. And the only undefeated teams in the top 25 are Ohio State, Texas State, and Rice. That concludes week 9. Next week is a bye for us, so we're going to advance 2 weeks here. First, let's see if we get any recruits committing in week 9. And you bet we do! Defensive tackle Isaac Prochet, 5-star player, commits to the Jackets, and no one else was even close. We've had a fantastic pass rush this year, and the recruits are noticing. They want to be a part of this. Prochet's going to be huge for us. In other news, Patrick Arianis has entered his top 5 stage. We have a decent lead on Alabama. Safety Leon Tung has also reached his top 5. And tackle Miles Zimba has reached his top 8. Our championship contender grade does drop to a B- with the loss. You don't want to see that drop below B-. As we know, we have a few important players who have that as their deal breaker, namely Jamal Haynes. So Isaac Prochet is our 6th commit of the class, and he's also the highest ranked of the bunch. We currently have 2 incoming defensive linemen, 2 incoming defensive backs, and on the offensive side, we have a running back and a tight end. Priority number 1 in recruiting this week is Patrick Arianis, who we can finally schedule a visit for. He will be coming on the week 12 bye. Of course, having him come for a bye takes away the possibility of getting a boost from an in-game performance. To be honest, I don't know if I'm making the right decision scheduling visits for byes. However, we do have a really tough schedule coming up, and for this year I really wanted to emphasize just getting those visits scheduled as soon as possible. So we'll see how well this works out. We have the correct hard sell now for Sammy Kirkland, the gem middle linebacker, and we're giving him the hard sell, soft sell combo. And we still need to figure out the hard sell for safety Leon Tung, but we can schedule the visit for next week against Miami. David Cushenberry, the run-stopping defensive end, is nearing his top 5 stage, and we're going to get him over the hump here with the send the house. And we have a sizable lead on blocking tight end Taekwon Chubb, so we don't even need to send the house for him. On to some results from around the country in Week 11, starting with OSU-PSU in the whiteout game. Drew Aller throws a strike down the middle, first down at the 1-yard line for the Nittany Lions, and Nick Singleton punches it in. So that cuts a 9-point deficit to just 2. Can James Franklin finally beat Ohio State? A minute 24 to go. Buckeyes pull out the bubble screen to Carnell Tate, and he goes to the end zone untouched. And Penn State faithful will have to wait at least one more year as they fall short at home 40-31. After missing some time, Will Howard is back in a big way. 5 touchdown passes, nearly 400 yards. And Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith on the outside is just unstoppable. This Florida-Georgia game, absolute bonkers. Georgia is up by 20 in the 4th quarter. Florida scores. Then they block a field goal. They get the ball back, penalty on the defense, and they capitalize with a touchdown. And just like that, they're down by 6. They're in need of a stop here, and Trevor Etienne can't get there. Florida will get the ball back, and they have their backs against the wall. 4th down and 8. Graham Mertz fires to his freshman receiver, Aiden Mazzell, and he takes it to the house. The Georgia defense forgot about him. And Florida has come back from down by 20 in just over 6 minutes with the extra point. But they may have left too much time on the clock for Carson Beck. As a matter of fact, he didn't even need 40 seconds. Dylan Bell gashes the defense up the left sideline all the way to the 3. Explosive plays at the end of this game. One play later, Beck to the corner of the end zone, and Dominic Lovett scores what would be the game winner. The fans in Jacksonville being treated to a classic game. Florida needs a miracle now. They do not get it. And Georgia hands Florida their third loss. The Gators' tough schedule coming back to bite them. This is a crazy stat line from Carson Beck. Over 30 yards per completion. And he nearly runs for 150 yards and a touchdown. That is a Heisman moment. Dylan Bell and Dominic Lovett absolutely torched the Florida secondary. But Graham Mertz, the transfer from Wisconsin, deserves some praise too, throwing for 6 touchdowns. 3 of them to Chimere Dike. Over in the ACC, the conference remains highly competitive, with 5 teams remaining ranked, including the Syracuse Orange, who rebound from the tough loss last week with an overtime victory over Virginia Tech. Trevor Pena had a monster game, catching 200 yards and 2 scores from Kyle McCord. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh, not so fortunate here in Week 11 as they drop one to SMU, and that puts them back out of the top 25. And this was a major disappointment from Stanford, who was shut out until the fourth quarter by NC State. Stanford had some really big wins early, but they did not look like themselves today. Grayson McCall is back to looking like one of the best in the nation, while Ashton Daniels had by far his worst game of the season. Oregon continues to pad their resume with a big road win over number 7 Michigan. Dylan Gabriel goes for over 400, and Jordan James scored 3 times. The other major group of 5 contender, besides Rice, is also in Texas State, and they remain undefeated with the win over Louisiana. Ismail Mahdi, a running back to look out for, as he looks to lead the Bobcats to a playoff berth. And here is the updated top 25. It looks like Rice actually lost, so Texas State is now the favorite for that 12 seed. Oregon goes back up to number 2, and Notre Dame at 5-3 sneaks into the end. So that's it for our bye week. We're still waiting on a couple key recruits, and that's one of them. Defensive tackle Ezekiel Hitchcock is a Yellow Jacket. And that's all we get, but we have a lot of people reaching their top 3. Sean Zeese, Paul Pinckney, and Sammy Kirkland. And we can also start pitching David Cushenberry and the punter Tremaine Sheridor. And hey, we didn't even have to do anything, and our championship contender grade goes up to a B again. But after the loss to probably the easiest team remaining on our schedule, it's not going to get any easier for us. And it starts against number 9 Miami. Thankfully, we do get them at home. The Seminoles proved that Miami is beatable. They controlled the time of possession 35-24 and forced 6 punts. We'll see if we can do the same. But Miami did rebound from that loss with a win over Duke, albeit not a very dominant one. Duke was able to bottle up the rushing attack of Miami, and that's the same defense that we destroyed. But at the end of the day, it's never going to be easy to face a team who is projected to get a first-round bye in the playoff. Cam Ward is dynamic. The transfer from Washington State has 16 touchdowns to 1 pick. And Damian Martinez, the transfer from Oregon State, has a nose for the end zone. Jacoby George, JoJo Trader, and Xavier Restrepo are going to be a handful to guard on the outside. And the Canes are also strong up front. They've only allowed 6 sacks on Cam Ward. One of their best offensive linemen, though, Inez Cooper, has a dislocated hip. Ruben Bain is fantastic as well. He may not be Romello height, but he does have 2 maxed out pass rush badges. And slot cornerback Diani Hill already has 3 picks. On paper, this is not a good matchup for us at all. Miami is very strong in the trenches, and honestly, we were dominated in the trenches against Virginia Tech. But this is the same team that beat Notre Dame just a couple weeks ago, so who knows what's going to happen. That'll bring today's episode to an end. I think I decided I like doing the next week's scouting report at the end of each episode instead of at the beginning, because I want to be able to get to the action a little bit quicker. So next episode won't start with just 5 minutes of me talking over menus. We'll get to the action as soon as possible. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one, even though it had a disappointing result. I had a lot of fun putting this video together. If you like what you see, would really appreciate if you subscribed, left a like on the video, and even turned post notifications on. I would also appreciate a comment with some feedback, or if you recommended it to a friend who you think might be interested. I'll see you guys for more very soon. Have a great rest of your day.